When Darnell invited Brad and me to speak this evening at this evening's event, we were very flattered, and I was pleased to have the opportunity to talk about my dad, Grant Honer, and his involvement with the college. Actually, my first opportunity was to reacquaint myself with Dad's accomplishments so that I knew what I was talking about this evening. You see, when my dad died, I was only 17 years old, and as a typical teenager, I didn't spend a lot of time focusing on my parents and what they were doing. Oh, sure, I knew that Dad was always going to meetings, frequently on the phone or had folks in his office, and it seemed as though he knew everybody in town. But I had no idea the extent of my dad's involvement in the community. So I dug into the footlocker where Mom had carefully stored away Dad's plaques and papers and his ledgers and his letters. And after reading and researching, I came away with a greater appreciation and understanding of my dad than ever before. So let me tell you a little bit about him. Grant Honer was a small-town boy. He was raised in nearby Stafford, where he worked in his dad's grocery store. He attended the German Baptist Church and played football in high school. From there, he went to Emporia State Teachers College, earned a degree in business administration, and played football. After graduation, he married his high school sweetheart and tried his hand at teaching and coaching. However, it wasn't long before Dad and Mom returned to Stafford, and Dad made a major career change. He went to work for New York Life Insurance Company. Just about the time the junior salesman got a good start in the insurance business, the world went to war, and Dad went to the Army. During those difficult years, the young Mrs. Honer was in Tulsa with her folks. And First Lieutenant Honer was in North Africa and Italy. At the war's end, the couple was once again reunited and settled in Stafford, and Dad returned to his civilian job with New York Life. Not long after that, they began a family and made the move to Great Bend, where they raised their children and became active in community life. So that's the story in a nutshell.
There are only a few men about whom it can be said that they are dedicated to serving their community. Grant Honer was one of those men. Some men head groups and take titles, then allow others to do the work while they take all the credit. Not so with Grant. He was a leader and a worker whose enthusiasm for doing a job well and his personal efforts inspired those who served with him. This was exemplified by his work in his church, Kiwanis, Panther Parents, United Fund, Chamber of Commerce, American Legion, Argonne Rebels, Central Kansas Medical Center, City Council, Great Bend Industrial Development, the Life Underwriters Organization, and many more. In all these, he worked not for personal glory or gain, but to help others find a joy for living in a community of which he was very proud. Many people might not know that Grant was instrumental in raising funds for the Friends of Barton County Community Junior College to finance the publicity campaign. He felt deeply that young people ought to have an opportunity for a good education, and to that end he accepted 3 weeks before his death the position of co-chair of an organization to establish an endowment fund at the college. This fund would be used for aiding students through scholarships to continue their education. His friends and associates have now determined that a Grant Honer Scholarship will be established at the college, and to that end, contributions are being made. The Tribune article closed by saying, "If anyone had just a little bit of Grant enthusiasm for helping others and love for the community, it would be a far better world."
Dad would have been amazed and humbled, not only by these comments, but by the resolution honoring his work for the college, which was adopted by the BCCJC Board of Trustees at their meeting the following week. He would be gratified at the long list of students who have benefited from the scholarship established in his memory over 40 years ago.
And I'm here to speak about not only my experience at Barton Community College, but two of my children's as well. Because not only did I graduate from Barton, but my daughter Maggie did as well. And even though my son Michael just went for 1 year, he benefited greatly from the generosity of the foundation. So my story with Barton County Community College, when I started at the college, was in 1992 when I started working there with a temporary position in the registrar's office. And I see several of my former coworkers here tonight, so I feel like I'm at home. And while I was there in my temporary position, a full-time position became available, and I was hired for that in the registrar's office. Not long after that, Dr. Mary Messagadis, who is a true champion of education, she was the Dean of Student Affairs at that time, and she encouraged me to begin taking classes to work towards my associate degree. And so began my journey in higher education. Over the next 8 years, I would enroll in 1 or 2 classes each semester, including the summer sessions, and I finally got my degree in the Associates in Science degree in May of 2000. It's a feat I would never have been able to accomplish without the campus-wide spirit of learning that lives at Barton Community College. I was supported by the generosity of Barton employees, which included many of my supervisors while I was there who would let me take a day class over my lunch hour. And I was supported by the faculty. They encouraged me, a non-traditional student with questionable self-esteem at the time. They helped me find my voice amidst all these traditional students, and that was never easy to do. And then, of course, I was supported by all my co-workers who would ask about the current class that I was enrolled in and help me forge a you-can-do-it attitude. Barton Community College is a fabulous place to sprout wings, so one can take flight. And so for me, I took flight after I graduated from Barton by enrolling in the Newman University ITV program through the Barton campus. Consequently, I graduated from Newman University with my bachelor's degree in education in December of 2001. My 2 graduation dates, May of 2000 from Barton and then December of 2001 from Newman, are 2 of the most exhilarating memories of my life. The fulfillment of a dream I had in my heart for 20 years was brought to realization, all because of the spirit of learning that lives at Barton Community College. Throughout my endeavor of higher education, my husband and I were raising our 3 children, Maggie, Joseph, and Michael. And because of my association with Barton, we encouraged them to continue their education after high school. And 2 of our children chose to do that at Barton, and that is where the generosity of donors such as you comes into play. Because of the extensive scholarship program at Barton Community College, our children could not only attend Barton, but fully experience campus life on campus. Maggie and Michael were both recipients of academic scholarships funded by the endowment, as well as music and band scholarships and the campus student employment program. Even though our family resides in Ellenwood, both Maggie and Michael lived on campus during their educational career at Barton, which affected them with endless opportunities and friendships they never would have experienced had it not been for the scholarships they received from the endowment. According to the Foundation's website, the Foundation is to secure sources of funding in order to maintain maximum student success. I can tell you from personal experience and from the experience of our daughter Maggie, the Foundation has met its goal many times over. While attending Barton, my daughter Maggie sprouted wings that my husband and I never imagined she could. She was a member of the Hilltop Singers, and she participated in stage and pep band and musical productions. She was on the leadership team of the Student Senate. She served as the resident assistant in housing her sophomore year and was honored with a selection as Queen candidate by her peers. In high school, Maggie was a very shy and unassuming girl, but at Barton she was allowed and encouraged to spread her wings, and she grew into a confident young woman. As for myself, I'm currently a teacher and the principal at St. Joseph's School in Ellenwood, and I'll never forget my time at Barton as an employee or as a student. And I'll always be grateful for the opportunities and the chances to take flight that was given to me by the people who make up the great college that Barton County Community College is. So thank you.